Hello. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's Speak Out Home practice session. My name is Samantha. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I'm here to help you learn the Speak Out exercises and help you establish and maintain, that's the hard part, maintain a consistent Speak Out home practice routine. Hopefully you are already working one-on-one with a certified Speak Out provider. If you're not, please find one. Go to ParkinsonVoiceProject.org. Look for Find a Provider and find someone in your area to work with. If you've noticed improvement with these home practice sessions, it's nothing compared to the improvement you will make when you combine it with one-on-one Speak Out therapy. Today's topic, we are going to be talking about the piano. Do you play the piano? Do you enjoy piano music? That's our topic for today. Before we start, go ahead and give me your best smile. Let's all smile with intent. Very good. Take your sip of water and we will get started. Please send your smile photos of you and your family to intent@ParkinsonVoiceProject.org. We are going to start with the first Speak Out exercise, the may, me, my, mo, moo. It's called our warm-up. I want you to lift your voice, lift, and then project it forward. Speak out. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Now sometimes people say, I don't understand what you mean by lift. So we're not yelling and we're not throwing it out this way. We're not doing may, me, my. We're lifting. It's may. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. And really exaggerate. Do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. We're going to do it again. Connect the syllables. That's important. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Parkinson's wants to bring your voice, bring it back here. Make it softer and raspy. We don't want that. You need to speak out. Project your voice forward. Let's do our last warm-up. May, me, my, mo, moo. Good. Take your sip of water, and I want you to think about when you're talking to your family and friends that you are lifting and projecting the whole time. So when you do these exercises, you're practicing what you're going to do in everyday life. So if I say, how are you? Do you notice how I lifted it? How are you? I lifted it and put it in front of me. Say that with me. How are you? Or how are you? All right, I'm lifting and I'm supporting it till the end. Say it with me again. How are you? Again. How are you? So what you're practicing during the exercises is what you're going to do in everyday speech. The only difference is when you're doing your exercises, you're using a lot more intent. It's your vocal workout, so it requires high intensity, high energy. Let's move on to the next Speak Out exercise, the ahs. Deliberately, purposefully, open your mouth wide. We want to make sure the sound is ah, okay? If you don't open your mouth wide enough, you'll get a different sound. And then lift it and speak out. Here we go. Ah. Good. We're trying to keep it consistent the whole time. Ready? Good. Let's do it again. If the sound is not clear, then something's not right. Try to project your voice out a little bit more and see if it'll clear up. Let's do a shorter one. Good. One more. We're done with the ahs. Take a sip of water and do it with intent, which means be purposeful. With Parkinson's, you have to be intentional, purposeful, deliberate. When you do that, you are activating a part of the brain that is not as dependent on Parkinson's. So you can do most anything, but it's not going to be automatic anymore. You're going to have to make it happen. You'll have to use intent. Let's move on to the third speak out exercise, the glide. Project out, up and over, and ah, and then glide up. Here we go. Ah. Stop. Good. It should be strong and clear the whole time. Let's do it again. As you're gliding down, make the sound grow. It should get bigger at the end. Start high and go down. Think of a roller coaster going down or a slide. Start high again. Good. And one more glide. We're almost done. One more from the beginning. Very nice. We're done with the glides. Aren't you happy? Some people love them. Some people not so much. Take a sip of water. We're moving on to the next exercise. For the ahs and the glides, we were working on the breathing muscles and the vocal folds. Our mouth was just open and stayed open. But now we're moving up to the next level. We're going to move on to the counting. So now it's the breathing, coordinated with the vocal folds, coordinated with our articulators. And we start with numbers because they're easier. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we are being very deliberate. We are in control of our voices, not Parkinson's. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're lifting and speaking out. We are connecting the numbers. Let's start at 12 and go backward. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Take a sip of water. We'll move on to the reading. A reminder that right after this session, we have the Parkinson sing-along. And even if you can't participate live, but I hope you will, but if it's the middle of the night right now where you live, you can use the recording. We post a recording every week. So make sure that you participate. It's a Zoom link, so Sandy will post that. But you can find just about everything that you need on the home page of ParkinsonVoiceProject.org. So we are going to read these sentences, and all of the highlighted words, we're going to emphasize them. We're not necessarily doing them louder, but we're really thinking about how we're talking. Let's read the first one. The piano was invented in Italy in 1709. Did you notice how when it said 9, I didn't let it trail off? Just say the year. 1709. Do it again with me. We're lifting and speaking out. Ready? 1709. Now read the whole sentence. The piano was invented in 1709. Now, do you notice how we are practicing? We are practicing. We're learning how to speak with intent the same way that you would learn to play a piano piece. When you have difficulty with a part, you do it over and over and over, and then you go back and you try to make it all the way again. That's what we're doing. Ready? A standard full-size piano has 88 keys. Let's do it again. A standard full-size piano has 88 keys. All right, next. A typical piano has about 12,000 parts. Again. A typical piano has about 12,000 parts. Might make us appreciate our piano tuners a little bit more. Read this first part of the sentence. Some famous piano pieces are you lifting and speaking out? Ready? Read it again. Some famous piano pieces are, let's read these two together. Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin. Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. Let's read them again. Rhapsody in Blue by George Gershwin. Moonlight Sonata by Beethoven. Do you have a famous piano piece or classical piece? What is it? Say it with intent. You can also chat it with intent. That's part of our conversation exercise, but right now, name 3 places where you would see a piano. Let's read these together. Symphony, school, university music department, Parkinson Voice Project. Yes, we had a Speak Out graduate who played in the symphony, and he donated a grand piano to Parkinson Voice Project. We are so grateful for it. Now, a tough question. Explain how learning to play the piano is like learning to speak with intent. Learning to play the piano is a motor movement, coordinating the motor movements. The speech disorder related to Parkinson's is a motor speech disorder. And the way that we correct it, the way that we improve it, is we use what's called principles of motor learning. And it's the same way that you would learn to play the piano. Again, you play the piano, maybe you're learning a piece and you try to do it with a lot of intent, slowly, really thinking about it. That's the same way that you do your exercises. If you have a tough part on the piano, you do it over and over and over and over. You do it slowly. You try to do it more quickly. Same way when you're working on your reading material. You also try to practice in different ways. When I played the piano, I might have a certain rhythm, like I would do the scales, da, 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 and then I would do da, 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 da. That's a motor, that's principles of motor learning. And you can do that. When we emphasize the highlighted word, we're changing it up again. You could also spell the last word of every sentence or do it in a different rhythm. So they're similar. All right, let's go ahead and do Dr. Boone's words. Ready? Gula ganga ga. Ready? Gula ganga ga. And the next one. Whoops. Ready? Ku ka mangu ka. Ku ka mangu ka. Next. Gangla. Again. Gangla. And the last one. Kukla. Kukla. The next part, we do have a bonus reading, but I really wanted to show you a different website. It has nothing to do with Parkinson Voice. Let me pull it up. I found it and I use it a lot with my Speak Out patients who are working on level 3. So people that need to be challenged a little bit more. Well, this is a website I found on UVA's website, the Miller Center. And what I love about it, so if we click, you've got all the presidents, okay? And so you can go through it. You can learn a lot too. Of course, we could say the dates 1732 to 1799. Say that with me. 1732 to 1799. Do you notice that they have a short paragraph here, but it is very challenging. It would be a great way to practice if you're in level 3 in the workbook where you're really working on more challenging material. And then there's another overview here. That's a great reading. And then different essays and fun facts. So you can maybe work with somebody else, ask a question, and then they say the answer, or they ask you a question, you say the answer. Sandy will post this link. It has all of the presidents there, and I just think it's great. So, you know, if you've been in the Speak Out therapy program a long time, maybe you get a little bit bored with this Speak Out workbook, but this is another way that you can practice. You can also download today's reading material. Take what you learned in this session and practice, 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 and practice some more. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Remember, follow us on social media. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn. We need your help to spread the word and let other people with Parkinson's know about Parkinson Voice Project and these sessions. So thank you for helping us with that. Have a great day.